Welcome back, everyone. Black Friday sales are right here, right now. We've only got 6 days left. Today, I will be presenting 10 of my favorite watches from 2024, which have made a hit on this channel. So these watches are really good value. All of them cost less than $90. All the links to the listings of these 10 watches will be in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. Let's start off with number 1, the Steeldive SD 1970. This turtle-style timepiece is almost iconic for AliExpress. 200 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, 120 click unidirectional bezel, a signed screw and crown, and a screw-down case back. It's offered in 3 colors, this blue, green, and black. The dimensions on this watch are really good, and this sort of warrants the thousands and thousands of sales that were made of this watch on AliExpress. In regards to the dimensions, we get a case width of 43.5 millimeters, a height of 13.4 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 48 millimeters, a lug width of 20 millimeters, and a weight of 180 grams, without removing any of the links to fit my 6.5-inch wrist. The polished flanks are folding under the case, and that looks seamless. The lug hoods are radially brushed, fine strokes for a clean and refined look. The coinage of the unidirectional bezel is convenient to grip, minimal backplay and heavy resistance. These feel precise and secure. The blue hue is on the bezel, the slanting rehaut, as well as the sunburst dial. Notice the date window at 3 o'clock. This really expands the use cases for the watch. As for the luminosity, performance in terms of brightness and longevity is up there. Additionally, the pattern of loomed elements on the dial and bezel are stunning. The chili blue on the outer ring with the warm green glow on the dial. Powered by an automatic NH35 featuring 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour for $65, this is a bargain. Let's applaud Tandorio for offering staggering value for a classic looking Homage with a markedly manageable size. We usually see these kind of watches and dials at 45 millimeters, at 44 millimeters, but this one is just 42. The California dial is stark and interesting, combining Roman numerals on the upper half and Arabic numerals on the bottom half of the dial. This design came about 90 years ago, but it became popular with Rolex efforts, of course. Not only is it aesthetically pleasing, the actual time-telling and legibility is enhanced using this kind of dial. The U-shaped midsection of the stainless steel case follows the case design of an iconic Italian horology house. The tall and fluted crown is actually the screw-in type, which emphasizes the premiality of this timepiece. Flip the watch over to find a massive screw-down case back, covering most of the rear end. The specs on here mark 200 meters of water resistance and sapphire crystal. In regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 42 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 47.5, a height of 13.2 millimeters, mostly due to the domed sapphire crystal, a lug width of 22 millimeters, and a weight of 100 grams on this genuine leather strap. The sapphire crystal is domed, yet the height is still manageable. The tan leather strap is in line with the warm tones of the shaded dial. This is a classy piece, no doubt, and really quite affordable at just $50. The luminosity is good in terms of brightness and longevity as well. And yes, this is an automatic, also powered by Seiko's NH35 self-winding automatic. Let's take a look at a super diver watch. So this is the Addiesdive MYH6 and it costs just $70. Even if this wasn't a super diver, it would still bring tons and tons of value. But it is, and that is good. Firstly, it's powered by a Japanese self-winding automatic, the NH35, like all of the 5 watches that we have in front of us here today, offering 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, and 42 hours of power reserve. It features a perfectly circular design. The lugs are positioned under the case, and the substantial 22mm stainless steel bracelet pivots straight down, meaning that even the slender wrists are catered for. In regards to dimensions, 46 millimeters is the diameter, which is equivalent to the lug-to-lug distance because, again, the lugs are under the case. We get a height of 13.8 millimeters, a lug width of 22 millimeters, and a weight of 215 grams. The sapphire crystal on here is 3.6 millimeters thick. The 120 click unidirectional bezel is grippy, the bezel action is heavy with minimal backplay. Even the sound is assertive and slightly muted, resembling the distinct clicks of a safe code. Another key point is that the bezel is loomed. Together with the dial elements, the chili blue luminosity pattern is quite striking. Addiesdive is known for its bright and long-lasting lume, and it doesn't disappoint here either. The 7.5mm in diameter screw and crown is signed and positioned at 4 o'clock. The case back is screwed down, of course, and on the left of the case we get the helium escape valve. This is a 1000 meter water resistant watch. A real, true super diver for $70. So here we meet the Cadisen C8206, a versatile 38mm timepiece inspired by the vintage Tudors and Rolexes of this world, as seen by the hands and the bracelet pins. At $55, this is quite a bargain for such a looker. The squarish stance is another giveaway to the watches Cadisen is paying tribute to. This is a fully stainless steel construction. There are 4 dial colors available, this sky blue, then we get a deep night sky blue, black and ivory white. Also you can opt for the bracelet with a signed double pusher clasp, 3 micro adjustments and a milled folded wing, or a silicone rubber strap. Personally, the sky blue got my vote because the bezel markings are also in the same blue. As a result, the watch looks much more fun and carries more of a summer vibe with it. Considering the nimble dimensions, it's a piece for any wrist size. In fact, the color variations point to an unisex design. So with regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 38mm, a lug-to-lug length of 46mm, a height of 12.4, and a lug width of 20mm. The weight without removing any links is 140 grams. The 120 click unidirectional bezel sits tall here. The coin edge has a white threading effect, great for grip and control. The bezel action is stupendously good for just $55. Consistent resistance, minimal backplay, and a distinct ratchet during the rotation cycle. We get a loomed pip on the bezel and loomed dial elements. Powered also by the NH35, a self-winding automatic. It features sapphire crystal, a screw and crown, and a screw-down case back, warranting 200 meters of water resistance. Seestern Sub 600T, and it does look breathtaking. The diver watch aesthetics are the next level. We get a fully stainless steel construction with a flat slab of sapphire crystal on top of it all. Powered by a self-winding automatic from Seiko, the NH35, considering tight dimensions of just 40mm in diameter, there is a lot of information provided to the wearer. The bezel gets 2 rows of values, while the dial features a distinct minute track and loomed hour indices. The case is mostly brushed, yet the array of angles and facets make light play very enticing across the case. If I were to name 3 features that I like most on this watch, they would definitely be, well, firstly, a superbly designed and sophisticated screw and crown. The rotation convenience is awesome. The starfish on the tip is a sign of a distinguished watch micro-brand on AliExpress. For number 2, the bright blue lume is chilly and long-lasting, just what we need on a real diver watch. For number 3, the strap is an absolute gem on here. A 3-link pattern with great fluidity and link articulation. The individual links are 3.5mm thick. Usually they're about 2 to 2.5mm. Here they're 3.5. There are no elements or indication of cost cutting on this bracelet. Even the clasp is signed with 6 micro adjustments, and the folding wing is of course milled. And of course there are plenty of color variations available with this timepiece. We've got the Addiesdive AD2048, and this could just be the best value of this collection. And that is if you're after a stylish tool watch ready for anything and you're on a budget. The AD2048 is essentially a field watch, but its functional design and layout of the dial elegant case design will provide for an easy daily wear of fabric. It's a fully stainless steel construction, brushed finish throughout, ensuring wear and tear is well disguised. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 39mm, a lug-to-lug length of 47.8, a height of 11.8, and a lug width of 20mm. The weight without removing any links to fit my 6.5-inch wrist is 155 grams. You gotta love the dimensions on it. The 39mm case size is ideal in terms of following reduced case size trends, and the sub 48mm lug-to-lug length avails the piece to wrist sizes of 5.5 inches and over. The inverted end links and those aggressively curled down lugs make all the difference. The steel bracelet is held together by push pins, also brushed, complementing the case finish. I like the beveled corners of the signed clasp. Note the polished effect there, adding flavor to the overall aesthetics. 5 micro adjustments and a milled folding wing are welcome on this budget price watch. Under the slab of sapphire crystal we have a mostly balanced dial, 24-hour clock with a large date window at 3 o'clock. For $60, it's hard to beat the design and lume quality of an Addiesdive watch, and we can see it here. The brightness, the longevity coming out of printed elements. We have a unique homage, something quite rare and for that reason alone, captivating. The sapphire crystal is domed, but the ceramic bezel is mirror flat and polished, which makes for exciting reflections and highlights. This Duka watch gets a lumed bezel as well, powered by the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. There are a few dial and bezel colors available, the blue, emerald green and this black with the yellow highlights on the ceramic bezel insert and the minute hand. The look is absolutely striking. The bezel actually overhangs the case, its wide grooves provide the grip to enable rotation, and the rotation is heavy and caramel smooth. The clicks are distinct, yet muted. The feeling of holding a special watch sticks with you. But it is a sizable timepiece. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 42.4mm, a lug-to-lug length of 50mm, a height of 13.6, and a lug width of 22mm. The weight is 180 grams. Looking at the profile, we notice the layering. Firstly, the tall and flat midsection circling round to the strict and angular lugs. All brushed and businesslike sophisticated. The polished finishes on the case are only applied to bevels. The watch is different alright, but in a good way. The inverted end links integrate with the head just right. The actual bracelet feels significant, yet almost elegant, considering it starts with 22mm at the head and then it tapers down to 18 at the clasp. So it's doing the elegance tricks, but still it's just so big and loud. The milled wing suits the massive design as well. The side screw and crown is tucked under the bezel overhang, while a fluted screw-down case back protects the rear. If you're yearning for a larger and unique diver experience, this is an option to consider. It's available with 3 dial colors, the black, sky blue, and emerald green. We've got the black with us. This is actually my second watch from this micro brand, and for the second time I've fallen in love with the craftsmanship and appeal. The domed sapphire crystal, thoroughly brushed case, polished fixed bezel that creates exciting reflections on a generally conservative case design. The piece is powered by a Japanese self-winding automatic or the Seiko NH35A. This is a completely stainless steel construction. We get a 3-link bracelet and a stainless steel case. The bracelet here is actually held together by screw pins, not push pins, and it does feature a milled wing. Like a true sport watch, it offers 200 meters of water resistance warranted by a signed screw and crown, as well as a screw-down case back. Apart from the premium components, the way this piece was put together is what really stands out. Check out the brand logo. The small square logo is much appreciated. It just doesn't have an obtrusive way of getting there in the way of your gaze. It's unobtrusive, stylish, and simply perfect. I do hope that Addiesdive, Steeldive, and Tandorio are taking notes right about now. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 39mm, a height of 12.9, a lug-to-lug length of 45.6mm due to inverted end links. We also get a lug width of 20mm, tapering down to 16 at the clasp. And frankly, the lume is staggeringly good. It lasts the night with ease. It's bright, the longevity is just amazing here. A brand new model for Cadisen, the C8237, priced at $68. This is a stunner. In fact, one of the best looking Cadisen divers I've seen in 2024. But if looks are a subjective area, the components, the refinement, the bezel action, and the automatic movement are quite objective. Let's start with the dimensions. We get a diameter of 40mm, a lug-to-lug length of 47mm, a height of 12.1, a lug width of 20mm tapering down 18 at the clasp, and a weight of 170 grams. You'll agree the dimensions are impressive. For a mid-sized diameter of 40mm, the lug-to-lug length of 47mm is as nimble as you'd expect on a 38 or 39mm case. So anyone with a wrist circumference of 6 inches and over should be experiencing no overhangs with this piece. There are several dial variations, the black with a ruby red seconds pointer, a navy blue with a bright orange pointer, or the ivory white with the turquoise pointer we have in front of us. The dial is perfectly symmetrical and balanced. The frame date window at 6 o'clock keeps distractions to a minimum. We get 100 meters water resistance with this watch, and it's warranted by a signed screw and crown as well as a screw down case back. The dial is topped with sapphire crystal, and of course the 120 click black ceramic bezel is polished to a stark glossy black. Unlike many older Cadisen bezels, we get a pleasant amount of resistance pull. The weight is consistent throughout the rotation cycle, the clicks are vibrant and clear, and yes, it aligns at 12 perfectly. Also, there is minimal, hardly any backplay. Another Cadisen, the Aquadiver C8232. It was actually released a couple of months earlier in 2024, but it's also relatively new. Priced at $60, it's like the evil twin of the prior mentioned C8237. While that one is a sophisticated and quite reserved diver watch with a cleaner and strict demeanor, this Aquadiver associates with a bad boy image, well, in my eyes. The dimensions are a diameter of 40mm, a lug-to-lug length of 46.5, a height of 12.3, and a lug width of 20mm. It does not taper. The matte black ceramic bezel insert is wide, set into a tall and mean-looking steel unidirectional bezel. Check out those wide rectangular threadings. The grooves are deep and notchy, almost brutal by appearance, yet so convenient for controlled rotation. The rotation is more heavy than light, with consistent resistance throughout the rotation cycle. Minimal backplay and on-the-dot alignment at 12 o'clock put a smile on my dial. The steel case and bracelet are brushed throughout. The bracelet features a one-link design. As a result, the tolerances are high, yet fluidity is slightly hampered. But it should still drape your wrist quite comfortably. Also note the bracelet does not taper at the clasp. The dial is another exciting place to be. All indices bar 12 o'clock are circles, with a larger diameter at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. But at 6, the circle is actually the date window. The orange highlights add flavor and sportiness. If we take a quick look at the lume here, amazing bright blue, and it's just so rich. Longevity is great, brightness is great. I absolutely love it. The links to the listings are in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after a sharp price. Now, of course, they are affiliate links, meaning that if you do make a qualified purchase, I will be getting some kickback from AliExpress. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me get commission, so I can buy more watches and review for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.